Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of B-Sides. My name is Bruce Cologne. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. So, I know it's been a minute, but I did want to take some time over this Memorial weekend to both reconnect and also close the loop on this whole Get Back, Let It Be saga. You know, those of you who've been following the channel for a while know that I've been covering a lot of this along the way. And it was very interesting to see the reaction to the announcement that we were finally getting Let It Be restored on Disney Plus. I know a lot of people were asking the question online, like, "Hey, after having gotten this epic Peter Jackson, Get Back film, do we really need Let It Be at this point?" And I do understand that because obviously, Peter Jackson's film stole a lot of the thunder of now this re-release of Let It Be. But I think it's very easy now in the aftermath of that to forget that the one thing that most Beatle fans wanted and have been clamoring for decades and decades was an official re-release of Let It Be, for that to somehow see the light of day. It had been a while since like the early home video releases, which were very inferior. We're talking about like the early 80s, VHS, Betamax, that kind of thing. And as a second generation fan, my first exposure to it was actually on cable around the same time as those early home video re-releases. For me, I've always loved this movie. I remember when first seeing it on cable, I had taken the day off from school. I don't know, was playing hooky or was sick or whatever, but it was a gray, overcast day, kind of like the perfect setting to see this movie. Had the house to myself and watched it. And I just remember being transfixed by the entire thing, start to finish. Being a second generation fan, I'd been obviously familiar with the whole sort of Beatlemania side of things, but to really get that inside look at how a band works, again, for me was fascinating. And also as a second generation fan, I had the context of knowing that they had broken up under bad circumstances and relationships. So nothing within the film shocked me, but I do understand that first generation fans have a slightly different relationship with the film, may have seen it raw in 1970 when all those feelings were still there, in the aftermath of, the immediate aftermath of the breakup. So I understand that the film kind of carries that weight for them. And, the way it was shot and the way it was presented officially, theatrically, having been blown up from its original aspect ratio and all that, it looked grainy. It just looked kind of shabby. But now with this re-release, I'm happy to say that, a lot of the film grain has been kept in. So again, it looks like a film. The original aspect ratio is being presented in also, which I think, again, is a respectful nod to the original. And it's a way of also making it a little bit different from like that sort of artificial veneer and sterile kind of cleanliness that was present throughout Get Back, in that restoration process. So I actually found myself really surprised by how much I enjoyed revisiting Let It Be after all these years. I'd had it on bootleg in different formats for a while, but I really hadn't sat down to watch it start to finish for years and years. So watching it on Disney Plus, I really, really enjoyed it. And I still contend that for me, Let It Be is a much more watchable, enjoyable viewing experience than Get Back. I love what we got in Get Back. And again, it recontextualized this viewing of Let It Be. But at the same time, I still contend that somewhere within those 7.5 hours or so of Get Back, there is a really, really solid 3-hour film dying to, to get out. It was a bit overlong, overindulgent. It was made for hardcores, and I definitely understand that. But again, I do think it could have been condensed for a much more superior film and a better viewing experience. For me, Let It Be just plays better, and especially now, again, that we have the additional context for it. I think anyone who's a serious Beatles fan has probably already done this and watched both. I think for also subsequent generations, it's good that both are going to be out there so that we have the whole story. They both complement one another, and they both should be watched in totality to kind of get that big picture of that very specific era in Beatles history. I've always, again, loved the movie, looked at it as basically a very realistic sense of how a band works, especially at the tail end of its career. So again, I'm very happy that we have it. And that's just my 2 cents on it. So for those of you, the 2 or 3 of you who actually be watching this this video, yeah, let me know what you think. Did you actually watch it? Are you hoping that they do a home video release of this somehow, for those of us who are still clinging to physical media? Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I really look forward to hearing back from you, and hopefully it won't be another, 6 or so months before I get to touch base with all of you again. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. And yeah, let's have a conversation about it. Let me know what you thought, okay? Everyone, please take care, stay safe, and we'll see you again very soon. Peace.